Okay, people, so we are now tuning in to almost the last video that we will have for application of derivatives on tangents and normals. So if you remember, we were discussing tangents and normals on AOD. Okay, so we have uploaded 2 videos out there and or 3 videos out there, and we will be in the process of uploading the 4th one here. So we will be more or less finishing off with this video itself. Okay, so what we have here is angle between curves. So let's understand this here. So let's say we have an axis like this and we have an axis like this. Okay, and let's say we have 2 curves out here which are intersecting. So let me draw a curve out here and let me draw a curve out here. Okay, so the angle between the 2 curves, or rather we say so if I draw a tangent here, let's say I draw a tangent like this, and let's say I draw a tangent like this. Let's say one of the curves is going like this and the other curve is going like this. So if I'm talking about, so let's say this is y is equal to fx1 and let's say this is y is equal to fx2. So there will be an angle between their tangents. Let's say this is the acute angle theta. Okay, we'll talk about the acute angle theta between them, the acute angle theta between them. So we're talking about the acute angle theta between them, and we have the angle between the curves. Okay, so let's say there are two curves. One is represented by y is equal to fx1 and the other one is represented by y is equal to fx2. We are talking about the angle theta, which is the acute angle between the curves, which is basically the acute angle between the curves, Okay, all right, so now this will have basically a slope and this will also have a slope. Let's say one of the slopes is m1 and the other one has a slope of m2. If we were to find out the tan of the theta of this is basically the acute angle. Here we have the acute angle. The tan of the theta of the acute angle between them would be equal to m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2, and that will be basically the mod value. So there is a possibility that m2 might be greater than m1 and there is a possibility that m1 might be greater than m2. So in that case we will have tan of theta is equal to m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2. So we can say that theta will be equal to tan inverse of m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2. Okay, theta will be tan inverse of m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2. So this is how we will define the angle between 2 curves by drawing their tangents, and this will give us the value of the acute angle that is there between the 2 curves. Okay, all right, so let's pick up a problem here. Find the acute angle between the curves. We have curve y is equal to x square minus 1 and y is equal to x square minus 3 at their points of intersection. Okay, so let's say okay, one thing that I forgot to mention here, there has to be a point of intersection. So let's say this will be x1 y1. Okay, let's say this is x1 y1. So we will have to basically calculate y1 is equal to fx1, y2 is equal to fx2. Okay, so y1, so here the value of y1 will be the same. Okay, so we will calculate dy by dx for the first equation at x1 y1, whatever the slope comes out to be, let's say m1, and we will calculate dy by dx for the second equation. So let's put it across this way. This will be dfx1 by x1 y1, and let's say this is equal to m1, and this will be dfx2 upon x1 at x2 y2, and let's say this is equal to m2. So that's how we will calculate m1 and m2. Okay, all right, so here we have find the acute angle between the points at their point of intersection. So we are not aware what is their point of intersection. So let the point of intersection be x1 y1. So we have the point of intersection as x1 and y1. Okay, all right. So the first equation, so at the point of intersection, we will have this x square minus 1 should be equal to x square minus 3. Okay, the y value of one should be equal to the y value of the other. Okay, and same with x. Now if I happen to remove this mod as it is, the x square and x square will get cancelled and it will have a minus 1 is equal to minus 3. Now minus 1 cannot be equal to minus 3, so there has to be a glitch. Either this, so we can take this as this x square minus 1, assuming that this is greater. So since it is a mod value, so this will be 3 minus x square. Understand why we have done this. Okay, if we have taken it as it is, then it would have been x square minus 1 is equal to x square minus 3. That will result in this, which is not equal. So obviously we cannot take this, value. Okay, so either we have to do a 1 minus x square is equal to x square minus 3, or we have to do x square minus 1 is equal to 3 minus x square, which seems to be more realistic. Okay, now if I happen to do this, then this will be 2x square, 3 plus 1, that is 4. So x square will be equal to, yes, x square will be equal to plus minus under root 2. Yes, or rather x will be equal to, so we have here, let's say x square is equal to 2. That would mean x square is equal to plus minus, that is x is equal to plus minus under root 2. That is going to be the value. Now how to find out, okay, what will be the points of intersection? Okay, now understand this, that this whenever we have a curve like this, y is equal to ax square plus c, this is going to be a curve which will look like this. It will be symmetrical about the x-axis. Okay, it will be symmetrical about the y-axis, I'm sorry. So the graph for both the curves, will be symmetrical. The graph for both the curves will be symmetrical about the y-axis. This is for sure. The graph for both the curves will be symmetrical about the y-axis. Now let's take this here. Okay, so we have here y is equal to this and this at their points of intersection. So what will be the points of intersection? Therefore the points of intersection okay, so we have to basically find out dy by dx. Okay, in this case y is equal to x square minus 1, so we can say that dy by dx at x1 y1, this one will be equal to 2x1. Now we have found out that it is either plus 2 or it is minus 2, so this will be 2 under root 2. Okay, 2 under root 2, and if it is 2 under root 2, then obviously its value will be how much? This y1 will be, so this is 2 under root 2, so y1 will be 2 under root 2, so that's basically how much it yes, so this will be 2 under root 2, and for y is equal to 3 minus x square, this will be y is equal to minus 2x2 minus 2x2, so that will be y is equal to minus 2 into minus under root 2. That will be minus 2 into minus under root 2. Minus 2x2, so that will be, yes, minus 2 under root 2. Taking x is equal to plus under root 2, taking x is equal to plus under root 2, we get these values. Okay, let me do this once again here, it is sounding a little confusing. So we have dy by dx is equal to 2x, and here dy by dx for the first curve, dy by dx. For the second curve, it will be we have assumed that it is x square minus 3, or rather 3 minus x square. So this will be 3 minus 2x, okay. So taking x is equal to taking x is equal to 2, or rather plus under root 2, we have dy by dx at 1 is equal to 2 under root 2, and dy by dx at 2 is equal to minus 2 under root 2. So both these curves will have the same inclination, whether we take the value of, so here it will be m1, here it will be m2, okay. So how will we find out the value of the angle between them? So tan theta obviously will be equal to m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2, okay. So this is going to be how much? 2 under root 2 minus 2 under root 2 minus 2 under root 2, 1 plus 2 under root 2 into 2 under root 2. So this is going to be minus. So this is going to be basically minus. So that's how 2 plus 2, that is 4 under root 2, 1 minus 4 under root 2. So this is going to be how much? 4 under root 2. So that is going to be 4 under root 2 into 1 plus 4 under root 2 upon 1 minus 16 to 32. Oh, I am missing out somewhere, it seems. Okay, so I was making a mistake in the previous one. Here it will be 2, so this will be 4 under root 2 upon 1 minus 8, okay, 1 minus 8. So that's going to be 4 under root 2 upon 7, okay. So theta 1 will be tan inverse of 4 under root 2 by 7, and we are going to get the same value if we happen to substitute minus under root 2. So for x is equal to plus under root 2, we get the value of theta as tan inverse of 4 under root 2 by 7. If we happen to put x is equal to minus under root 2, it's going to take the same value here, because here we have one for 2x and the other one for minus 2x. So just imagine you're going to get the same value here, okay. So inclination will be the same, okay. So this is going to be fulfilling the condition for both the values. So this is the angle between the two. Okay, so we have this question here. Find the angle between the curves 2y square is equal to x cube and y square is equal to 32x at all their points of intersection. So we have all their points of intersection. So let's write these two equations here separately. That is 2y square is equal to x cube and we have y square is equal to 32x. So if we happen to y square, if I basically put the value, so this is equation 1 and this is equation 2, okay. So if I put the value of this 32x, putting the value of y square from 2 in 1, so we have 2 into 32x is equal to x cube. So that will be 2 into 32x is equal to x cube. 64x is equal to x cube, okay. So that would mean x cube minus 64x is equal to 0. That is going to mean x into x square minus 64 is equal to 0. So either x is equal to 0, x square minus 64, or x square minus 64 is equal to 0. So x square is equal to 64, which would mean x is equal to plus minus 8. X is equal to plus minus 8. X is equal to 0 or x is equal to plus minus 8. Either x is equal to 0 or x is equal to plus minus 8. So what do we have the points? Therefore, the points are 0. So obviously for the value of x is equal to 0, what will be the value of y? y of course will be 0 for both of them, y will be equal to 0. Okay, for the points of intersection are 0 0, points of intersection, so points of intersection are x is equal to 0 0, and then we have for the value of plus 8. Okay, so plus 8, what will be the value of y? 8 8 8 8 8 8 8. So the value of y here will be, we can put, because we have solved this equation for both of them, so let's say for we take up any of these equations, so here y square will be equal to 32 into 8, so that's going to be y is equal to 32 into 8, so this will be 4 into 8 into 8, so under root of 4 into 8 into 8, that is 2 into 8, that is 16, so y is equal to plus minus 16. Yes, so this will be, once it will be plus 16 and the other one 8, this will be minus 16. So these are the values of x that we have. For one we have y square is equal to, no, here will we have a problem. Okay, if we take, so x will have a value of plus 8. For plus 8 we get two values. For putting x is equal to minus 8, here we have y square is equal to 32 into minus 8, and this is not going to solve, so it is not possible. Okay, because we are going to get a negative value for y square and it is not possible to get a real value here. So these are the 3 points of intersection, that is 0 0, 8 16 and 8 minus 16. Now let's solve them here. Let's happen to solve them here. So if we have dy by dx for the first one, so what will this be? Dy by dx for the first one, so here we can say that it is 2y dy by dx is equal to x cube. For the first one we are calculating, so this will be dy by dx for the first one is equal to x cube by 2y. In the same way we have y square is equal to 32x, so if I differentiate this will be 2y dy by dx for the second one will be 32x. So here dy by dx at the second point will be 32x by 2y, so that's going to be how much? 16x. Are we on the correct page? 32x. Oh, 32x, it will be 32. So this will be, if I differentiate this, then this will be 2y dy by dx for the slope 2 is equal to 32. So dy by dx at position number 2 will be 32 by 2y, so that's 16 by y. Okay, all right, so we have here slope number 1, m1 is equal to x cube by 2y. Okay, x cube, no, this will not be x cube. Why am I missing here? Okay, 2y dy by dx will be equal to 3x square. So this is going to be dy by dx at 1 will be equal to 3x square by 2y. 3x square by 2y. Okay, so the first one for m1 we have 3x square by 2y. For the second one m2 is equal to 16 by y. 3x square by, okay, so if we were to calculate the points of intersection for point, let's say 8 and 16, what will be m1? m1 will be equal to 3 into 8 square upon 2 into 16, so that's going to be how much? 8 square means another 8, 2 4s are 8, 4 4s are 16, 4 2s are 8, so that's going to be how much? 6. So m1 is 6 and m2 will be equal to 16 by 16, that's going to be 1. Am I on the correct page? I don't think so. Let me just see it once again. m1 will be equal to 3x square, so this is going to be 3x square by 2y. Yes, so 3x square means 3 into 8 into 8 upon 2 into 16, so this will be 8 1s are 8, 8 2s are 16, 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are 4, 3 to the 6. Yes, that's what we're getting. Okay, and here we have dy by dx. 2y dy by dx is equal to 32. So that will mean dy by dx at 2 is equal to 32 by 2y, that is 16 by y. So here we will have it. So m2 will have a value of 32 by 2 into 32 by 2 into 16, that will be 1, right? What is it that we are getting a value as 32 by 2 into 16, that gives us 1. So therefore tan of theta will be equal to m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2. So this is going to be m1 minus m2, that is 6 minus 1 upon 1 plus of course 6 into 1, 6 into 1, so 6. So this will be 5 upon 7. So therefore theta will be equal to tan inverse of 5 upon 7. Now let's take the other point. Let's take the other point here. For point 8 minus 16, what do we have here? m1 will be equal to 3 into 8 into 8 upon same 2 into 16. So that's going to be the same, that is 6. For m2 here will be different, that is 32 upon 2 into 16, that will be minus. So this will be here, this is going to be minus 1. So tan of theta will be equal to 6 minus 1 and 1 minus 6 into minus 1. So that's going to be 7 by 1 plus 7 by 1 plus 6. So that will be 7, right? 1 minus 6, and here it will be 1 minus m2, 1 minus m1 into m2. So this will be 1. So tan theta is equal to 1. So theta will be equal to tan inverse of 1. That's basically 45 degrees. Okay. Now the last one we have here is for point 0 0. For point 0 0 we will have tan theta. This will be basically equal to m1. M1 is going to be obviously how much? M1 here will become 0 by 0. So that will be 0. M2 is going to become how much? 16 by 0. That's going to be infinite. So tan theta will be infinity minus 0 upon 1 plus infinity into 0, or rather 1 minus 1 plus. Okay. So if it is 1 plus here, this should be minus 1. This should be minus 1. Okay, tan inverse of minus 1. So acute, we are concerned with the acute angles here. So this is not applicable to acute angles. Now here we will have infinite. Tan theta is equal to infinite. So theta will basically mean 90 degrees. Theta will basically mean 90 degrees. So this is how we will solve this problem. Okay. Okay, people, we will now talk about orthogonal intersection of curves. So what do we actually mean by orthogonal intersection of curves? Orthogonal intersection of curves means that the curves have an angle of 90 degree within them. Okay, so the tangents will be normal to each other. The tangents will be normal to each other. Orthogonal intersection of curves means that the tangents will be normal to each other. Okay, so now let's talk about it. So see, there is no point in stretching this actually. Okay, if we have a curve, let's say fx1, and if we have a curve fx2, and let's say if they intersect orthogonally, so then obviously what will happen is dfx1 by dx, which is nothing but m1, okay, and dfx2 by dx, which is nothing but m2. Okay, so if we happen to multiply these two will be tangents at the point of intersection. So m1 and m2 are basically slopes of tangents at their point of intersection. Slopes of tangents at their point of intersection. So we will have m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1 because these two will be perpendicular lines. So therefore the necessary condition is dfx1 by dx into dfx2 by dx. This should be equal to minus 1, or we can say f dash x1 into f dash x2 is equal to minus 1. Okay, f dash x1 into f dash x2, that will be equal to minus 1. Okay, let's move on. Find the angle between the curves. So we will have this as taken as an example here. So we have to find out the angle. So y square is equal to 4x. If we happen to differentiate it, this will be 2y. dy by dx is equal to 4. So that will give you dy by dx, the first curve basically, is equal to 4 by 2y. Okay, 4 by 2y. Let's talk about this one here. Y is equal to e minus x by 2. So this will be dy by dx is equal to minus x by 2. Minus x by 2. Or we can say here that log of y will be equal to log of e minus x by 2. So that will be log of y, log base e of y. This will be equal to, or we can do this in this way. We know that when we write, we can say that 10 cube 1000, this is written as log base 10 1000 is equal to 3. So here we have log base e and y is equal to log base ey is equal to x by 2. Yes, we can write this log base ey is equal to x by 2, minus x by 2 rather. Okay, so if we happen to differentiate both sides, differentiating both sides, we will have d by dx of log e y, d by dx of minus x by 2. So that's going to be 1 by y dy by dx is equal to minus 1 by 2. Okay, so here we will have dy by dx for the curve 2 as equal to minus y by 2. So just look at this. If I happen to multiply dy by dx at 1 into dy by dx of 2, this will be 4 by 2y into minus y by 2. Okay, so we have 2 2s are 4, this y gets cancelled and this 2 and 2 get cancelled, so we get minus 1. So therefore m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1, m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. Okay, m1 into, so these will be basically, therefore angle between the curves is equal to minus 1. That will be the angle between the curves. Okay, let's move on to the next problem here. Find the values of a if these curves, where it is x square plus a square plus y square by 4 is equal to 1 and y square is equal to 16x, cut orthogonally. Orthogonally means that the angle between the curves is 90 degree. So let's find x square by a square plus y square by 4 is equal to 1. If I happen to differentiate this, y square by 4 is equal to 1 minus x square by a square. So 2y, this will be 2y by 4 dy by dx is equal to minus 2x by a square. 2x, we have a square minus, so this will be 2x by a square. Okay, so we have here dy by dx is equal to minus 2x by a square into 4 by 2y. 2 and 2 get cancelled, we have basically minus 4x by a square y. dy by dx for 1, that will be equal to minus 2x by a square into 4 by 2y. So we have here 2 and 2 getting cancelled, minus 4x is equal to a square y. Okay, we have here y cube is equal to 16x 3y square dy by dx. 3y square dy by dx is equal to 16. dy by dx at point 2 will be equal to 16 by 3y square. Okay, so since they cut orthogonally, we will have dy by dx at 1 into dy by dx at 2. This will be equal to minus 1. So that will be equal to minus 4x by a square y into 16 by 3y square. This should be equal to minus 1, right? So minus and minus get cancelled. Here we will have 4x, so nothing gets cancelled here. 64x is equal to a square y cube, right? A square y cube getting multiplied there. Now if we happen to take this value, y cube we have as 16x, so we can put this as 64x. Find the values of a. 64x is equal to a square. For y cube we can put 16x, so this will be a square into 16x is equal to 64x. X and x get cancelled, a square becomes 4, so therefore a will be equal to plus minus 2. That will be the value of a. A will be equal to plus minus 2. Okay. Okay, so we will understand a new concept here, which is length of tangent or segment of a tangent. So let's say we have here, this is basically the y-axis, and let's say we have the x-axis, and so we have, let's say, any curve here which is going like this, and we happen to draw a tangent at a particular point. So we happen to draw a tangent at a particular point, let's say this point, and this tangent is, so we know from the definition of the tangent that the slope of the tangent is basically tan of the angle that it makes with the positive x-axis. So it is the positive x-axis, this happens to be y, this happens to be minus x, this happens to be minus y. So positive x direction. So this is basically at a point x1, y1. Let's say it is a tangent. Now when we are talking about a segment, okay, length of tangent or segment of tangent, so let's say this is the point P, let's say this is the point T, okay, this is what we need to calculate, the length of PT. So don't confuse it with the tangent itself, okay. Length of a tangent or segment of a tangent is basically the distance of the point of contact and the x-axis, not even the distance, this length, this is basically the tangent. So this length where it meets the x-axis, the tangent, the point at which it intersects the curve, and the point at which it touches the x-axis, this point PT, okay. This length PT is basically known as the length of tangent or segment of tangent. Now how do we find this out? Let's say I draw basically a, so if I happen to draw a normal here, let's say this is basically normal, so this will be 90. If I happen to draw a normal here, this is theta, this is 90, so obviously this will be 90. What will this angle be? This angle be equal to, this angle will be 90 minus theta. If I happen to draw a normal here, okay, normal here, let's say I happen to draw a normal here, so what will be this angle? This angle will be, this is 90 minus theta, this is theta, so obviously this will be theta. See, understand, this is 90 minus theta, this is 90, so obviously this angle will be theta. Let's say I happen to draw, let's say PA, and I name this as B, okay. So now I have to basically find out PT. In order to find out PT, I will have to basically find out PA. So let's say this is PA. The value of PA will be how much? Y, okay. The value of PA, x1, y1, you want to put it as y1, you can put it as y1 as well. So PA will be y1, PA will be y1. So what will be the value of PT? So in triangle, let me just, in triangle PTA, in triangle PTA, PA is equal to y1, this is basically y1. So angle PTA, in triangle PTA we have PA base perpendicular upon hypotenuse, PT is equal to sine theta, perpendicular upon hypotenuse is equal to sine theta. So this will be PA, that is y1, upon pt is equal to sine theta. So we will have here y1, or we can say pt by y1 is equal to 1 by sine theta, 1 by sine theta. Okay, so that is basically how much? Cosec theta. pt by y1 is equal to cosec theta, or we can say pt is equal to y1 cosec theta. Now this cosec theta basically has to be positive, so here we can say this is the value. Okay, so segment of tangent, or we can say length of tangent is equal to y1 cosec theta. Now from this very triangle we can also find out the length of the normal. So if we say let's say length of normal, or we can say segment of normal. So what portion will this be? Segment of normal will be basically PB. So if we have to find out PV, we can say this will be basically PA by PB. What am I writing and what am I saying? PA by PB. So this will be PA by PB is equal to cos theta from this triangle, basically in triangle PAB. In triangle PAB, PA by PB is equal to cos theta. So PA is y1 and PB is how much? It is not known to us. That is basically the length of the segment. PB is equal to cos theta, or we can put it across as PB by y1 is equal to sec theta. So we can say PB is equal to y1 sec theta. We of course have to take the positive value here. So therefore length of normal or segment of normal, this will be equal to y1 sec theta. So PB is equal to y1 sec theta. That will be the length of the normal. Okay. Okay, so in the previous slide we had PB is equal to y1 sec theta. Now in the previous this basically in this one we can also write, see, length of tangent is basically equal to y1 sec theta. Now this can be written as, if I happen to take the y1 part out, this can be written as sec theta, which can why am I writing this like this? Sec theta. Okay, so this will be equal to y1 sec theta means 1 plus tan square theta. So this will be basically y1 into 1 plus dy by dx square. So this will be basically the other way of writing it. Okay, now we'll talk about length of subnormal. So what is basically the subnormal? It is the projection of length of normal or length of or rather segment of normal. You can say segment of normal on x-axis, the positive x-axis basically. Okay, so here we have let's say okay, so here we have the y-axis and the x-axis. Okay, now projection of the length of the normal on the x-axis. Now so we what we did was basically we had taken this and we had taken this as the normal. So let's say this was the tangent, this is the tangent and the normal. So this angle was taken by us as theta. What we had done was basically there was a normal that was drawn. So obviously this angle as we saw was theta. Okay, now let's say we have here P, and then we have A, and we have B, let's say we have M here. So when we are talking about the length of the subnormal, the projection of the length of the normal, we know that PB is basically the projection. So PB, when it is projected on this will be basically MB. Okay, this is basically what we have to calculate here. So it's very easy. We have seen that PB is equal to y sec theta, y of sec theta. So what will be the projection? See, PB upon this, if we say MB upon PB, MB upon PB, that will be equal to cos of 90 minus theta. So this will be cos of 90 minus theta is basically sin theta. So MB by PB will be equal to sin theta. I'm sure you must have done this in physics a lot. So MB will be equal to PB sin theta. MB will be equal to, so MB will be equal to PB sin theta. Now what is PB? Basically we know that it is y sec theta, and this will be basically sin theta, y sec theta. So MB is equal to PB sin theta. We can say, if I take this inside, so this will be y tan theta, y of tan theta. Okay, y of tan theta. So projection will be y of tan theta. Okay, in the same way we can find out the length of the, let's say the length of the, so if we say length of subtangent, or basically projection, this is projection of tangent or segment of tangent on x-axis, segment of tangent on x-axis. Okay, so here we have to basically calculate what? Here we have to calculate AM. So PA, the projection of PA on x-axis, projection of PA on x-axis is AM. Projection of PA on x-axis is AM. So we can say PA by AM is equal to cos theta. So this will be PA by AM, or AM so this will be AM by PA is equal to sec theta. So this will be AM is equal to PA sec theta. Okay, PA means what? The PA is basically, we have seen the value of PA as, let's say we here, this was, well, basically y sec cosec theta. So we have here y cosec theta. So PA is y cosec theta into sec theta. Okay, so AM will be y cosec theta into sec theta. So that's going to be how much? Y by, this is sin theta cos theta, y by sin theta cos theta, that is AM is equal to y by sin theta cos theta. So it can be written as 2y as 2 sin theta cos theta, other ways of writing it. So that will be 2y sin 2 theta, and this is going to be 2y cosec 2 theta, obviously the mod value. So these are length of tangent and length of subtangent and length of subnormal. Okay people, so in this question we have proved that the subtangent to the curve y is equal to e raised to x by a is a constant. Now obviously it's difficult to remember a lot of formulas, but subtangent and tangent, if we are clear about the concepts, it will not take more than a minute for you to have the concepts clear out here. So we have already discussed this at length. So let's say we have a curve here and we have the tangent drawn here. So if we have the tangent drawn here, and let's say this is basically the normal, if I happen to extend this a little, okay, so this is basically the normal, and we happen to draw a normal from here to here, so here to here, okay. So obviously this angle is going to be 90, this angle is theta, which is basically the slope. Obviously this angle will become theta. So we have P, let's say A, then we have B, and then say we have C. Now what will be the subtangent? Prove that the subtangent to the curve. So subtangent is here, the subtangent is what? Subtangent is AB, okay, and AB is equal to what? So we know that PB by PA. So basically we have, let's say the coordinates of the point here is x and y, okay. So obviously PB, that is PB by PA is equal to sine of theta, okay. PB by PA will be equal to sine of theta. PB is y, PA is equal to sine of theta, okay. So we can say PA by y is equal to cosec theta. So PA will be equal to y cosec theta. PA will be equal to y cosec theta. This will be PA, that is y cosec theta, y cosec theta. So what will be AB? What will be AB? Basically subtangent. So we know that AB by y cosec theta. So this is AB by y cosec theta. Base upon hypotenuse is equal to cos theta, okay. So AB here will be equal to y cos theta into cosec theta, which means y of cot theta. So AB will be equal to y of cot theta. This will be basically AB. So this is y cot theta, okay, y cot theta, okay. So we have to basically find out the subtangent to the curve, length of the subtangent to the curve. Y is equal to Ex by A. So this will be dy by dx is equal to x by A d by dx of E. This will be basically d by dx. Cot theta is how much? Let's calculate this here. AB is equal to y of dx by dy, right? This will be basically dx by dy. Okay. So subtangent is basically y into dx by dy. Here we have dy by dx is equal to x by a into 1 by a, x by a into 1. So this will be basically d by dx of ex by a, that will give us ex by a into d by dx of x by a. So that's going to give us 1 by a, and this is ex by a, okay. So dy by dx is equal to ex by a upon a, ex by a upon a. So this is going to be a constant subtangent. So we can say that ex by a is how much? Y upon a. So dy by dx is equal to y upon a, or we can say dx by dy is equal to a upon y. Now what is the length of the subtangent? AB. Subtangent is equal to y into dy by dx by dy. So this will be y into dx by dy. Here is coming as a by y. So this will be equal to a. So therefore subtangent is equal to a, which is a constant. Subtangent is equal to a, which is basically a constant, okay. So that's how we are going to solve this. Okay, let's move on to the other problem. Determine the value of p such that the subtangent and subnormal are equal to the curve. Subtangent and the subnormal. So let's kind of first find out what is the value of subtangent and subnormal. So here we have, let's say, so we have to find out the value of p. Let's say this is a curve and we have a tangent at this place. So this will be subtangent and this is the subnormal. This is theta and we have here basically 90 and this is theta. This is theta. Okay, determine the value of p such as a subtangent and subnormal are normal to the. So we have one equation y is equal to e px plus px and the other equation at point 0 1. So this is basically the curve. Okay, this is basically the curve. When we are talking about the subtangent, so let's say this is be a and then again this is b and let's say this is q. Okay, so subtangent will be aq and what will be the value of aq? So first of all we need to calculate the value of PA. Tangent is PA by PQ, PA by or PQ by PA perpendicular upon hypotenuse is equal to sine theta. PQ is y. Let's say this is x and y. So this is y upon PA is equal to sine theta. Again PA by y is equal to cosec theta. So PA will be equal to y cosec theta. PA will be equal to y cosec theta. PA will be equal to y cosec theta. Now PA is equal to y cosec theta. Similarly we will have here PQ. So what will be the length of the subtangent here? Length of the subtangent. So AQ, PQ by AQ, PQ by AQ, PQ by AQ is equal to tan of theta. So this will be PQ by AQ. PQ by AQ will be equal to tan of theta. So this will be PQ by AQ is equal to tan of theta, or we can say AQ by PQ is equal to cot of theta. So AQ will be equal to PQ cot theta. So this will be PQ, which means AQ by PQ. So AQ will be how much? AQ will be basically y cot theta. So AQ or subtangent length will be equal to y dx by dy. Yes, this will be the subtangent because tan theta we know is dx dy by dx. So cot theta will be dx by dy. So length of subtangent is equal to y dx by dy. In the same way, if we happen to calculate the length of the normal, so length of the normal will be how much? This will be QB, right? So let's say we have QB by PQ is equal to tan of theta. So QB will be equal to PQ, that is y tan theta. So this will be y dy by dx. So therefore we know length of subnormal, that is projection of the normal along the x-axis, projection of the tangent along the x-axis is known as subtangent. So this will be y dy by dx. Now what is said in this equation? Determine the value of p such that the subtangent and subnormal are equal for the curve. Okay, so in this case we will have subtangent and subnormal equal, that is y dy by dx subnormal is equal to y dx by dy. So this would mean y and z getting cancelled, dx by dy, or rather we can say dy by dx square, dy by dx squared is equal to 1, or we can say dy by dx is equal to plus minus 1. Okay, determine the value of p. Now dy by dx, so here we have y is equal to e raised to px plus px. So let's divide it, or rather differentiate it. So dy by dx, this would give us this would give us basically e px. Let's differentiate it the proper way. D by dx of e px plus d by dx of px. So that's going to basically mean this is e px d by into d by dx of px plus p. Okay, so that would mean e px and p comes out here plus p. So dy by dx. Now here the point is given at the point 0 1. So we have here dy by dx at 0 1, that at 0 1 this will be equal to p e raised to p into 0 plus p, because x has a value of 0. So p e raised to 0 plus p, anything to the power of 0 is 1, so p plus p, so this will be 2p. So we have here dy by dx at 0 1, the value as 2p. So if we have 2p, so in that case dy by dx, that is 2p is equal to plus minus 1. So therefore p is equal to plus minus half. That will basically be the value of p. Determine the value of p such that the subtangent and subnormal are equal for the curve. That's the condition for p. Okay. Okay, so a couple of more problems to go here. Find the length of normal to the curve x is equal to this and y is equal to this. So very quickly, I don't remember, so I basically make a derivation as fast as possible. Okay, so here we have, let's say, a curve. We have a curve which is going like this, and we have to determine the length of the normal to the curve. So we have to determine the length of the normal to the curve. So we have to basically determine this value. Okay, so this value, for determining this value, what we do is we draw a normal here. As soon as we draw a normal here, this becomes theta, this also becomes theta. Length of the normal, which means p, a, let's say b, and this is, let's say, c. So here we have length of the normal, which means pb. So pb, or rather we have pc. So we have point p as xy. So pc perpendicular upon hypotenuse is equal to base upon hypotenuse is equal to cos of theta. So here we have pb upon pc is equal to sec of theta. So here we have pb is equal to pc sec theta. Pc is y, this is sec theta. Pb, obviously since it is distant, so it will mean mod value. Now this can be written as y 1 plus tan square theta. We are just using the identity here. So y into 1 plus tan square theta is what? Dy by dx square. 1 plus dy by dx square. So this is basically the length of the normal to the curve. So very quickly, here we have, so length of the normal to the curve, that is length of normal to the curve is given by the value of y into 1 plus dy by dx, and this is square. So let's calculate first dy by dx. So here dy by, let's say we have at the curve y is equal to a minus a cos theta. So dy by d theta, this will be equal to minus a sin theta. Minus gets cancelled, so this will be a sin theta. And similarly we have for this curve x is equal to a theta plus, oh I am so sorry, this is a, yes, a minus a cos theta, so this will be a sin theta. this will be a theta plus sine theta, a theta plus a sine theta. So dx by d theta here will be a plus a cos theta, a plus a cos theta. So if we were to do a dy by dx, dy by dx will be equal to dy by d theta upon dx by d theta. So this will be dy by d theta, that is a sine theta upon a plus a cos theta. So that's going to be how much, a and a get cancelled. So this will be sine theta. Sine theta can be written as 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2. Applying sine 2 theta, sine 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta cos theta. So we can write sine theta as 2 sine theta by 2, and underneath we have 1 plus cos theta. So 1 plus cos theta, if we use the standard formula, cos 2 theta is equal to 2 cos square theta minus 1. So here we will have 1 plus cos 2 theta is equal to 2 cos square theta, or we can say 2 cos square theta by 2 is equal to 1 plus cos theta. So here it will be 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2, and here it will be basically 2 cos square theta by 2. 2 and 2 get cancelled, this gets cancelled by this, so this will be tan theta by 2. So dy by dx is equal to tan theta by 2, sin theta by 2, cos theta by 2. Okay, so now we have to find out the length of the normal. So therefore length of the normal at theta is equal to pi by 2. This will be equal to mod of y into mod of 1 plus dy by dx square, dy by dx square. Okay, so dy by dx we have already calculated as tan theta by 2. So in place of y here we will put it as a into 1 minus cos theta. Okay, 1 minus cos theta, and here it will be 1 plus tan theta by 2. So here we have theta as pi by 2. So this will be a 1 minus cos pi by 2 to 1 plus tan pi by 4, tan square pi by 4. Correct? We have here tan square pi by 4, dy by dx square. So this will be tan square theta by 2. Okay, so this will be a 1 minus cos pi by 2 is obviously 0, and this will be 1 plus 1 square. So this will be a into 1 plus 1, that is 2. So under root 2a, that will be the answer. Find the length of the normal. So the length of the normal, therefore length of are we on the correct page? Yes, length of normal will be equal to under root 2a. Okay, let's move on to the next problem here. For the curve x m plus n is equal to a m minus n y to n, prove that the mth power of the subtangent varies as the nth power of the subnormal. So here we have x m plus n is equal to a m minus n y to n. If we take logs, then log x m plus n is equal to log of a m minus n plus log of y to n, that will be m plus n. Log of x is equal to m minus n log of a plus 2n log of y. Purpose here is to find out dy by dx. So now if we differentiate, so this will be m plus n, d by dx of log x is x. This will be entirely a constant, so this value will be 0. This will be equal to 2n by y dy by dx. Okay, dy by dx. So where we have dy by dx is equal to y into m plus n. This will be y into m plus n upon 2n into x, 2n into x. Okay, now we have to prove that, so this is basically the equation. This is one equation. this is the given equation, this is 1, this is let's say 2. We have to prove that the subtangent, we know that subtangent is given by y dx by dy. Prove that the mth power of the subtangent, this is subtangent, we have proved this, okay. And what about the subnormal? This is 1 dy by dx, this is subnormal, okay. So let's say prove that the mth power of subtangent. So if we take, let's say, subtangent to the power of mth power of subtangent upon subnormal, so subnormal, that is nth power of subnormal, this will be equal to what? Y dx by dy to the power of m, and here will be y dy by dx to the power of n. So this will be y m minus n upon, let's say if I take the dy by dx, this can be written as y to the power of m into dy by dx to the power of minus m, y to the power of n dy by dx to the power of n. So n minus m, so this will be dy by dx m plus n, okay, dy by dx m plus n, dy by dx m plus n, y minus n, m minus n, so dy by dx m minus n. So what is the value of dy by dx? Let's put this here. So this will be y m minus n upon dy by dx, that is y into m plus n, y into m plus n upon 2n, that is x, 2n into x, and this entire thing m plus n. So we have here 2n m plus n going up, 2n raised to m plus n going up, and x m plus n going up, okay, upon into y m minus n. We have here y m plus n into m plus n raised to m plus n, okay. So let's do this, okay. So here we have 2n m plus n, x raised to m plus n can be written as a raised to, see from this equation, x raised to m plus n, it can be written as m minus n into y raised to 2n, and here we already have a y raised to m minus n. Here down we have y m plus n into m plus n raised to m plus n. So this will be 2n m plus n a m minus n y raised to 2n. So that will mean m minus n plus 2n. So that will mean m minus n plus 2n upon y raised to m plus n, m plus n raised to m plus n. So here we have 2n m plus n a raised to m minus n, and here we will have 2n minus n, so this will be m plus n upon this is y m plus n, this is m plus n raised to m plus n. So these two get cancelled. So what do we have here? We have here subtangent raised to m upon subnormal raised to n. This will be equal to a m minus n to n upon m plus n, okay. So this is basically what? A constant. This is basically what? A constant, okay. So we can say that subnormal, or rather subtangent raised to m is equal to a constant into subnormal raised to n, which would therefore mean that subtangent raised to m will be equal to subnormal, or rather proportional to subnormal raised to n. Okay, with that people, we come to an end of tangents and normals with respect to application of derivatives. We will now move to rate measure for application of derivatives. I hope things are understood. If not, then please let us know. We will make some more videos and clarify the concepts. You can also post your doubts in the YouTube section out there. Okay, thank you so much for your time and watching the video, people.